Is this the year that LeBron James finally becomes the washed king that we all never thought would ever happen? Well, I'll give you an answer right after the bumper. What's good people? It's Jeff Lights Jr. here with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, ESPN puts out their annual survey where they survey about 20 general managers, executives, 10 to 20 general managers, executive scouts, or whoever, and they put out who they believe is the best player in the NBA. This year they did 10, and out of those 10 votes, a resounding 0 came in for LeBron James, as 5 went to Giannis Antetokounmpo and the other 5 went up to Kevin Durant. And so LeBron took it as only LeBron would. As he called himself, he said, "Thank you, as if I didn't need more gas, more fuel. This will fuel me for the next season." And he hashtagged it the Washed King. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for the downfall of LeBron James. After seeing the rise of Giannis Antetokounmpo over this past NBA Finals, seeing him win the chip, seeing him do it without a super team, seeing him coming back from 0-2 down, seeing him do all of these things, right? Win 4 straight to win the title in Milwaukee. It is safe to say that maybe there is a new king in the NBA, right? Maybe it is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Maybe it is finally Kevin Durant, because he was just this close from sending Giannis and the Bucks home without James Harden and without Kyrie Irving, dropping 48 and 50 and all that kind of stuff in the last 2 games of the series, and especially in Game 7. So, is this the time that we finally have seen the downfall of LeBron James? Well, I hate to say it, guys, but I do not believe so. We're going to read a little bit of this ESPN article together and it's going to tell you why I don't believe that this is the last we've seen of the greatness of LeBron James. This is LeBron James took to Twitter to react to ESPN's offseason survey of 10 NBA scouts and executives, leaving him without a single vote of the title of the best player in the NBA. James responded to a tweet sarcastically saying that he was a washed up player, then sent out a separate one to all 50 million of his Twitter followers announcing he'd use it as fuel heading into the next season. This is the tweet. "Thank you, as if I needed more to fuel me. Washed King hashtag." In the survey, Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant evenly split the votes among those 10 scouts and executives for the title of the best player in the league. Antetokounmpo was credited with leading the Bucks to the NBA title, while Durant, for his historic performance in Brooklyn's second-round loss to the Bucks with co-stars James Harden and Kyrie Irving, were hobbled with injuries. So let's continue to reading. The only other player even considered was a vote was James, with several of those polled. Blah blah. We don't care about that. See, this is the part that I wanted to read right here. This isn't unfamiliar territory. After the Lakers missed the playoffs in his first season in Los Angeles in 2019, the same survey canvassed 20 people. And again, James didn't receive a single vote, with Kawhi Leonard getting 12, Giannis getting 6, and James Harden getting the other 2. Now, James responded to that by leading the Lakers to the 2020 NBA title inside the league's bubble at the Walt Disney Resort in Florida. He was firmly in the discussion for this season's Most Valuable Player award when he suffered a high ankle sprain and derailed his season in March. The Lakers went on to lose to the eventual Western Conference champions, the Phoenix Suns, in 6 games in the first round of the playoffs, when Anthony Davis had an injury. So the key to that article was the last time LeBron didn't get a vote in this exact same poll. And even in that time, it was more people. They polled more people. It was 20 people. This time it was only 10. And he didn't get a single vote that time. Kawhi got 12. Giannis got 6. And James Harden got the other 2. He came back to win the title. I think that's significant. I think that's very significant. Why? Because LeBron James, when he gets to tweeting, he gets to playing really, really good basketball. We know he goes into zero dark 30 mode for the playoffs, but when he gets to tweeting and using them Twitter fingers, he really uses that as fuel, because we know the superior athletes, the one that just are crazy about the craft, are crazy about the game, are crazy about the work ethic, they use any and every little bitty thing to motivate themselves. They have to, because they're so great and they're so good, and a lot of times they're so much better than everybody else, that they can't use other players as motivation because the standard is not the same. They're not, 10 times out of 10, they're better than those other players. So they have to use other little trinkets and nuggets and whatever to motivate themselves. And this seems to be something that works for LeBron James. This ESPN article that absolutely positively means a zero and has zero effect on the season is something that'll motivate LeBron James. Michael Jordan, we saw he used to use the smallest itty bittiest of things. Oh my God, he used to take everything personal, but it worked. It worked, and it made him one of the most, glorified basketball players, athletes the world has ever seen. Not just basketball players, but athletes the world has ever seen. We watched in The Last Dance. Kobe Bryant was the same way. There's famous stories about Kobe Bryant in practice. Kobe Bryant, his work ethic, having guys come, tell him to show up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. workout sessions. They show up at 5 a.m. He's dripping in sweat because he's been there since 3, right? Like, it's just crazy. And he used to use the smallest of things. Even the way he practiced, he took that personal. Same with Mike. And LeBron's the same way. He uses these stupid little ESPN articles or these stupid little Twitter blogs or these stupid little whatever just to motivate himself, especially coming off a disappointing year. In 2019, they were coming off not even making the freaking playoffs, and LeBron had an injury. This year, they're coming off losing in the first round of the playoffs, and LeBron also had an injury this season, not to mention Anthony Davis's injury this year. So yes, the king is not washed. He will use this as motivation, and maybe this is a precursor. Maybe last time taught us something. He might be in for another championship run. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Is LeBron James washed, or do you see the Lakers taking home another title this year? Once again, I'm Jeff Lighty Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Follow us on Instagram at VF Sports Show. And also for those of you on Facebook, I'm Jeff Lighty Sports over there on Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.